Motion, we go back into session. All right, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, now we're back to the lighting standards
This is,
revisions.
yes, so this is your last section. Oh, sorry, I guess I'm just answering questions, and I guess Stephanie had questions. Okay, I will not go over it then. Be happy
What's
to answer.
that? Motion?
There was already a motion and a second. and
Okay, before
Stephanie
we
had
took the
questions.
break.
Yes, sir.
All right, so now is anybody here to speak for or in opposition to the proposed changes in lighting regulations? All right, seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing, and now we'll go to the magistrates. Would you want to go through it?
No, I don't need to go through it unless you have questions, but I think Magistrate
Okay,
Hawkins had
did you have questions, Magistrate Hawkins?
When we get under general requirements, this is on the second page.
Can you turn your microphone on, please?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
A little better.
Okay. On the second page, Amy, where it talks about under the general requirements, 3C, the level of lighting shall not exceed 20-foot candles or 50-foot candles at any point beneath the canopy. Why was one recommended over the other, 50 over 20? I was there when it was a lighting expert from Louisville, I think, recommended that, but I didn't know.
20 was marked out.
Right, and changed to 50. So what was the reasoning behind making it brighter?
I don't recall that discussion at Study Review Committee on lighting and the lighting expert from Louisville being there. Did we invite someone from Louisville to be there?
No, he wasn't there, but he was talked about, like, we talked to a lighting expert from Louisville, and this is what he said.
I don't recall that.
I'm sorry, I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I
Maybe
honestly don't.
Just makes it brighter, doesn't it?
A lot of it is for safety as well, but it's under the canopy rather than, it's not on the outskirts of the property. It's just the lighting under the canopy. So I am not sure. I don't recall that conversation.
Yeah.
Stephanie, could you say that one more time? I was responding to an email.
That's okay. When the SRC met and it was talked about changing the lighting or the foot candles to be 50 foot versus 20 foot, there was an expert from Louisville who recommended making it brighter, but I don't know why it was made brighter or why it would need to be that bright.
And I'm Kevin Jeffries, Chairman of the Planning Commission. Best of my recollection, the discussion was about, adequate lighting in a parking lot, but they didn't want the lighting to overflow to the, off the edge of the parking lot or whatever. And I think his recommendation was to increase the foot candles, out in the lot. I mean, in the middle of the parking lot versus, so it doesn't, so you got plenty of light. And because, statistics show that if you've got adequate lighting, a lot of times, criminal activity is less, and especially in shopping areas, shopping malls.
And cameras, I think, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's my recollection.
Okay, and then flip the page, under 5E, D, it's now D. A maximum of 2 light fixtures per pole is recommended for parking lots not to exceed 200 stalls, except for perimeter lighting, which should be limited to 1 fixture per pole. But I didn't see how much space is needed or recommended or required in between each pole. So is there any regulation in here that would state that in a parking lot, somebody building a parking lot couldn't go pole, light, pole, light, pole,
Well, that, and when they do a lighting plan, they're trying to give even light across most of the property, with the exception of at the perimeter where they go, to, obviously don't want any light spillover.
But there are other setbacks in between poles and like right above it. But it wasn't indicated how much space is in between each pole if it's 1 fixture per pole. And then the line above it, a maximum of 2 light fixtures per pole is recommended for parking. And I wonder if added to that could be, but a maximum of 1 when it's abutting residential. to protect residents or a residential neighborhood next to a parking lot.
Well, the foot candles is what protects the
Right.
neighbors, not the number of poles.
Right.
Because the light intensity is what you're trying to keep from encroaching on, not the number of poles.
So, but this is a maximum of 2 light fixtures per pole. If it's abutting a residential, perhaps it could be 1 light per pole when abutting
Well,
residential.
then they will, because that would be directed towards the interior of the property. And
Rather
typically, when we see lighting plans, that's what we see on the perimeter, if any, is 1 light.
But that's not stated in here.
Yes. Yes,
You're not gonna put a double-headed light on a perimeter.
right.
Right.
You aren't, because the light is gonna illuminate in all directions.
But how much space is it in between poles?
Well, it depends on the type of light. You know, every light type, like halogen and whatever, has a different type of light intensity. And so when they do a lighting plan, they have lighting programs that tell you what the foot candles is at the perimeter. And if they were, and we've checked those in the past and seen there was spillover and said, no, you can't do this, and they adjust the lighting plan. So it's really a, you know, initial design and then a review and final plan. I feel confident that the way lighting plans are done were covered in this regulation.
And under 310, this is now the second to the last page, sign lighting. What in this, because I see scratched out, including let me see, where am I at here? Oh, the under 6. So 310-060, sign lighting under 6. Why remove that last line there? And without that line in there, could, say, a nail salon have their nails in neon lights running all night long without that in there?
Can't enforce it. That was turn it off.
Well, it really relates to enforcement. We don't work at night, and so we don't drive around looking at these, and so, you know, we trust that people are gonna not violate the regulations and.
I would like to leave that in there, and then if there is somebody who, you know, would see that at night, we could just, you know, call in a complaint, or a citizen could call in the complaint, but at least those restrictions are in place.
Well,
But there's nothing, why shouldn't someone be allowed to keep their business light on?
Well, their neon light,
It
say,
doesn't say neon light, it just says lighting, sign lighting.
Yeah.
So if it's a backlit sign that is an entrance into a commercial subdivision, you know, project or something in Crestwood, and it's a monument sign and it's internally lit, why shouldn't that sign be allowed to be kept on all night?
what if it's in a window? Or like some of them do, they blink all around.
They're
and
not
it says-
supposed to blink, signs,
Right.
that's not a
Right.
sign. Lights in a window is not a sign.
So the neon light, what would you call the neon light that says nails, that's hanging in a window?
Well, if it says nails, that's a sign, but if it's a neon that just outlines windows at the top of a building, that is not a sign.
So there's nothing preventing, especially without that 6 in there, somebody leaving their neon light on all night long.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I just think that that 6 should be left in there. Those are my things, those are my discussion topics.
Right. And, anybody else would like to make any comments here about this? Are you, I guess, proposing an amendment here to the, you recommended that, for, what was the,
It- I would propose an amendment if I was
well,
allowed
in
to.
other words, you brought up discussing this, and then we had a second, correct?
There was a motion and a second to approve it, and then it went to discussion. So
Right,
then she asked
okay,
questions.
all right. Well, you're entitled to amend your motion if you think you can get,
She didn't.
you made the motion?
Would you like
okay.
to amend it to keep 6 in there? It's your district
Well,
that's
you-
affected most.
It's unlikely that.
Read that right there, number 6.
See, I don't, my personal is, I don't think you should have to turn on the light if you don't want to. I mean, it's just not, if you're running a business, I don't see why.
After it's closed?
If you're a business, you're open 24 hours. If you're selling insurance, I want my insurance light on 24 hours a day. I want somebody to pass by and realize I sell insurance.
Okay. And I think of it as a light pollution and not necessary, not, anyway, difference of opinions, I suppose.
All right, we've got a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion to adopt this, this section as presented? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed?
No.
Motion carries, not 8-1. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I believe that concludes the second reading of our revisions of the comprehensive zoning ordinance. We'll move on now under contracts, agreements, and resolutions.
Judge, can we award the?
Yes, sir. Let's take do we have some paving bids to award here? Okay, come forward, please. It was very
Corey
great-
Rusnak.
Great treat to have Corey Rusnak from the city of LaGrange here today.
The Public Works Director for City of LaGrange, we're going to award our paving bid to Libs Paving in the amount of $62,166.15.
Is that something we need to vote on? I don't think so. It's your deal. Okay. All right, thank
That's all I
you.
got.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Jim Silliman, County Engineer. So similar to LaGrange, we don't have to do anything with the Pewee Valley bids. Those will go to Pewee Valley and they'll vote at their city council. With the 3 bids for the county that we did take today, receive, Group 1 for the Parks Department, we'd like to recommend award of that to Libs Paving at $301,502.29. For reference, the budget item that was based on our engineer's estimate that's put in the fiscal year budget is $326,030.00. So the bid came in $24,527.71 under, which is about 7.5% under the estimate.
That's good.
Would you like to do these individually or?
I think so. Mr. Greenwald, you want
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid.
Second.
to? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Second, we have the Group 2 Maintenance Department bid for the paving at the South Oldham Government Center. We recommend that be awarded to Libs Paving for $20,585.65. Similarly, the budget for that was $22,500. So the bid came in $1,914.35 under, or about 8.5%.
Judge, I'll make a motion, we award that to Libs.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And lastly, we have the County Road Group 3 resurfacing. We recommend awarding to Louisville Paving for $867,691.42. The engineer's estimate on that was $958,831.19. So that one is $91,139.77, or 9.5% under.
Great.
Judge, I'll make that motion, we accept the bid.
Second.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you. So, all our savings added up to $100 and some thousand.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Who got number 4, group number 4?
We didn't do it. It's
You
Pewee Valley.
didn't take it?
Libs got it.
Now we'll go on with our contract agreements and resolutions. Rodney Gabbert, are you here? So to a software contract for the maintenance department. I can't pronounce that first word there, Akita box or something.
I'm here to present the Akita box. We're trying to get a software to help us manage complaints, work details, like in the detention center. When Joe goes down, locks are bad, he can keep track of which ones are bad, what mechanism's bad, where he's picked up the mechanism, what the mechanism cost, how many times he's had to go back to it. It'll just really streamline a lot of our day-to-day events. As far as going from one place to another, we run into somebody, they'll say, could you fix this? By the time we get to the other end of the building, we've had 10 other people come up and say, can you do this, can you do this, can you do this? And it's hard to keep track of how many things in that one facility that needs to be done while getting to the original facility thing that you came to do. It also goes as with emails. Emails are horrible. People try to email, they don't quite get done. They make a list. They don't get the email list to us, so we never hear about it until we actually go down there for something else. And then this comes up. And this is what we'd like to get this approved so that we can keep track of better items, better details of items that we need to get on top of.
Okay, Magistrate Likens, has the building committee reviewed this?
No, sir, we have not.
What's the cost, Rodney?
It is $12,500 is the cost of the hardware or the software. Let's see.
All right, I do understand the fact that maintenance is asked to do a lot of things, there's a lot of lines in the water at the same time, and I do think having each one of our buildings, put together on a floor plan and all the maintenance that has been done and what has been requested, and to actually be more organized than we have been.
Yes.
Just through the normal, procedures would be helpful, so.
Yes.
What we're talking about here is $12,500.
Yes.
Judge, during the budgeting process, Rodney was in there, and he did discuss with the Finance Committee the purchase of this particular item and did tell us something about it, and it pretty much, our opinion was pretty much what your opinion is.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like this is something just out of the air.
Yeah, okay, right. Right, someone like to make a motion that we,
Second.
any discussion on it? Magistrate Harrison?
Considering this year 2019, we should have done this 20 years ago.
Exactly.
I agree. Thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now, Mr. Solomon, we'll have you back to, for the agreement between the rural and municipal aid here and the county.
Yes, so this, the agreement before you is with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for their Rural Municipal Aid 80/20 program, where they've agreed to cover 80%, 80% of the cost of the bridge replacement for the Old Zaring Road bridge replacement, which is currently under design, up to $80,000. So I ask that the fiscal court vote to adopt this resolution that's on the last page to agree to the 80/20 portion.
Judge, I'll make the motion. You're able to sign for the agreement and resolution above attached agreement.
Seconded.
All right, moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Judge. We have an idea what we're looking at cost-wise? Any idea?
The preliminary engineer's estimate for the bridge replacement was $150,000. So anything over $100,000, it's still, their maximum is $80,000 for the 80/20 program. We haven't taken bids yet, though, so.
Okay.
Okay. Magistrate Harrison?
Jim, this is the bridge between Richard Smith on the north side and Kalen on the south side.
It's about midway between Cedar Point, or 1817, and 329 on Old Zaring Road. I don't remember the exact property
No,
owners.
okay, no, it has to be where it is. Thank
It's
you.
a tributary of Darby Fork.
All right, hearing no further questions, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We're back now to Mr. Urban and talking about BTM engineering agreement.
Thank you, Judge. In your packets, you have an agreement for consulting services between BTM Engineering and the City of LaGrange and Oldham County Fiscal Court. And what I'm here to ask you to do is consider approving this contract so that the judge can sign it. What I want to point out in particular, well, first of all, back up. We have done phase one of this project, which is the Eden Parkway extension from the end of the existing Eden Parkway all the way to LaGrange Parkway in Oldham Reserve. There's a preliminary line and grade under the first contract, and now what we're getting to is to do construction documents to be able to put that road out to bid one day. What we're going to do is break out that project in two separate sheets of construction documents. One will be from the end of the existing paving on Eden Parkway to the roundabout, and the second set will be to finish it all the way to LaGrange Parkway, so that if we get construction plans for Peak Road, and I'm going to put out an RFP for that, we'll be able to get construction plans for Peak Road that go all the way to the roundabout. This is phase two, so we're looking to get construction drawings done so it can be bid out. In the consideration portion, the compensation is $91,966. That amount is split 50-50 between the City of LaGrange and Oldham County Fiscal Court. Last night at the City Council meeting, they approved their portion, which is $45,983. So again, I'm asking you to consider allowing the judge to sign this contract with the Fiscal Court portion of the construction drawings being $45,983.
I make that motion, Judge.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded that sign this contract for construction drawings for extending Eden Parkway, for our part being 45,000 plus or 46,000, whatever you said there. As you die,
Jim, you said you're gonna do two sets of construction documents, you're gonna break this in half?
Well, it's not quite in half.
But two pieces?
Yes, just so we can, if we, when we get the Peak Road construction documents, we can bid that, which includes to the roundabout and finishing Eden Parkway down towards New Moody Lane.
Now, is there gonna be an upcharge for them doing two sets of documents?
Not at all, no.
Okay, all right.
I made sure of that, and I did, by the way, ask Jim Silliman to review the contract and the production hours, and we made a few little comments and changes, and he's in agreement with this contract.
Okay, good, thank you.
is there any further discussion on this matter? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we have the service agreement for fire recovery expenses. Mr. Nart?
Good afternoon, Judge, members of the court. Jerry Nart, Director of Emergency Management for the Oldham County. What you have in front of you, items G and H relate to each other. Item G first is a request to have the county and have the judge sign in a memorandum of agreement for the fire, or service agreement, I'm sorry, for the fire recovery company. It's based out of California, but they have nationwide services. There are over 24 departments in the state of Kentucky alone that employ their services. And what this company does is take the ball from us when we have a major incident. I'll just use hazmat on the interstate as an example. When it's all said and done with, and there's expenses occurred due to equipment being expended, additional man hours, things of that nature, this company specializes in contacting the insurance company of those responsible for the incident, and they run with the ball. And then we don't have to worry about extraneous attorney fees or anything of that nature. They come in, they help us set up a web page. Number two here, we'll talk about it in a minute with the other agencies in the county. We submit everything into that one website. They then take it from there. Whatever the amount that is recovered from them, and you will see in your packet, there is actually a listing of what the average national hourly rate per certain incidents are, and incorporated into that hourly rate is 20% for the company. So getting to my point is, when it's all said and done with, we get 80% of what they end up paying restitution to us because 20% goes to the company. But they've added 20% on when they make the submission to that insurance company this is how much we want, okay? There's no fees to us, upfront fees of any kind, shape, or form. They don't collect, they don't get any money. So it's kind of an easy task, in my opinion.
Move we approve it.
Pardon?
I move we approve it.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded that we approve this agreement with Fire Recovery USA, commission-based company that will help Oldham County Emergency Services and recover any expenses on a commission basis. So it costs us nothing, so.
Yes.
All right, any further discussion? Magistrate Greenwell.
Jerry, I think this is a great idea, but is this based on California prices? Because some of these prices are extreme. I mean,
No, it's based on nationwide.
so in other words, he's broken it out by district or something like that?
Well, I think they take.
Or an average?
Yes, an average.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, they already have contracts with, our service agreements with 24 departments in Kentucky alone.
Well, I can see where it would cost more in California
Sure.
versus here, so.
Yes. And I will also add that if this would ever go to litigation, this company ensures that the litigation would be here, not because they're based out of California. It would be here, which was an issue with the previous company we were looking at one point in time.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion on this? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Next item, item H, is a memorandum of understanding between all the first responder agencies in Oldham County to enter in agreement with Oldham County Fiscal Court, if you will. And I, as EMA, be the coordinator of making sure everybody gets all their submissions in by deadline if they choose to do so. And then we submit on behalf of one county. And then all the funds come to the county, and then the finance office, the treasurer, they would end up dispersing those funds to the departments that had claims for that particular incident. Now, conspicuously not in there, you see that the Oldham County Police is not in there because they are in fact a county entity. This agreement is with those that are not county entities, and so that's why those signatures are. So I'm asking for a request to have the judge sign that agreement too.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded. Any discussion on this? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jerry. Good job. We've been working on this for the better part of a year. I'm glad we got it nailed down. All right, good. And I hope we don't have to use it, but if it's out, we don't want anybody to be hurt, but, expenses do come up. Now we'll be with, have Tim Keel here from the dispatch to talk about our service agreement or award for CAD software.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. Good evening, everyone. The package you have before you, we went last week to Frankfurt and signed the documents for our grant. We were awarded just under $135,000 to upgrade the CAD system. This is a contract that requires the judge's signature to continue that and start collection of the monies and start with the project.
So moved.
Any discussion on this? Not too hard to take. No.
Take money.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
The next item here, I believe Magistrate Hounds brought this up about school resource officers and Chief Smith.
Hey, Judge, this is an agreement between the Oldham County Board of Education and Fiscal Court and the Oldham County Police Department to staff 9 SROs in the schools for this coming school year at a rate of $32 per hour. There is no increase in the budget. The budget's already set. It's just a matter of how the system, how the process is going to work and the staffing and the hours and expectations.
I'd like to make a motion that you sign the agreement between Oldham County Schools and Oldham County Board of Education and Fiscal Court to provide the SROs to the school system.
Magistrate Logston was the second on that. Is there any discussion? All right, we're glad to have our SROs out there, and all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, anyone opposed? Motion carries. I'm going to give you the contract, and pardon, I signed it already, and you need to sign it. I think the school superintendent has signed it. In the back, last page there, haven't they already signed? Let's see here, the next item we scratched, so let's go on to Human Resources Committee. Is Tina Schaaf here? Well, she is. So we have a job description.
We do. Before you all this afternoon is a reworked job description for the Community Center Coordinator. That position has, we regraded the position from a lower grade, made it a little bit higher, and the duties of that job changed just a little bit. There's a little bit of more management as far as the staff and being able to respond to, and make independent decisions regarding vendors and the events. So that person, this job needed to be upgraded a little bit as far as the grade goes.
Judge, I'll make the motion, we accept the job description for the community center coordinator.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on it?
Did we not have a community center coordinator
We do.
job description before?
We did. It's just updated.
Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Go ahead with our Parks Department.
So we have some personnel actions for the Parks Department. We have some new hires, some building monitors at $7.40 an hour effective tomorrow. We have Josie and Katie Bailey and Gavin Radatek. I'm not sure if I said that correctly.
Motion to
Judge, I'll make
approve the
that
new
motion.
hires.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And we have some items for the Police Department. The first one is a resignation from Michael Flanagan effective July 22nd. Do you want me to go
Motion.
through?
To accept the resignation of Michael Flanagan.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Carries.
And we have a new hire. It's a 5-year lateral. Dustin Dean, he's coming to us from Louisville Metro. He's been there since 2012. He will be starting August 21st, and his base hourly rate is $24.50.
Motion
Judge,
to
I'll make
accept
that
the new
motion.
hire, Dustin Dean.
All right, moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We have 4 contracts here for the schools, for the police officers that'll be assigned to the schools. The first one is for Greg Ford, and the second one, Jimmy Latham, and then we have Bo Simpson, and the last one is Joe Dennis. Now, he actually was not in the schools last year. He's with us under contract as a police officer, so he'll be now going over to the schools effective tomorrow, and his previous contract with us will end, so he will not be doing the first contract any longer. And that one will be ending today, and the new contract starting tomorrow with the assignment to the school.
Judge, I'll make the motion that we continue the contract with Greg Ford, Jimmy Latham, Bo Simpson, and add Joe Daniels. Dennis, I'm sorry. I can't read. These on.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank
All
you.
right, I think that's it for me. Thank you.
All right, I have some board appointments here, and we actually have one of our persons to be considered for reappointment here today, Kevin Jeffries. Like to reappoint Kevin to the Planning Commission, and along with Barry Hampton and Katie Nasser. You had everyone's biography here, and I'm happy and pleased and proud to represent these people. So I'll make that recommendation. Second, is there a second?
Everybody's fighting.
Sorry. Is there, okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Appreciate Kevin's here, appreciate your service, Kevin, and Been a long time. So. All right, now we're going to wind up our meeting here with any final public comments that anyone wants to make from the audience here. Don't see anybody that is anxious to speak, so we'll go to our magistrates and see if Magistrate Logston has something he'd like to. I know you had a great turnout Saturday night in Pee Wee Valley for the Monarchs.
Had a great turnout, wonderful summer picnic, so thank you for bringing it up. And thanks for all the people who came out and enjoyed the music, and the weather wasn't all that bad once the sun went down, so
Right.
it was a great time.
Well, the Monarchs are the traditional group for the first Saturday, and if you've been in this area for a long time, you know that the Monarchs go way, way back, and they've, only one individual left on the stage was from the original Monarchs, and my wife was thrilled to see them. She loves them every year, and said that she remembered him playing at the Sock Hop in Middletown 50 years ago. So it's great that somebody can still be out there playing. So
The Mystics were better.
Mystics, okay.
They're local.
Well, I like them all, so they're good. All right, Measure Die.
But Judge, I remember them from high school, being at the gym at Butler. They played there along with the Carnations, Trendells, Sherry and Gary Edwards. Yeah, I'm old too, so.
Yeah, I know.
The only thing I've got to say is, I'd like to appreciate the time and effort that everyone that worked on the comprehensive plan improvements here today. It's it's kind of went around and around, but it's a lot of work, and I'm glad to see they got it done, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Measure Hawkins.
I have no memory of any original members of that band. Other than that, I have nothing.
All right, well, I'm sure there is some group that you remember.
Yeah.
Those are all you missed the great days back in the day.
I did miss them.
Measure Hounds.
Yes, Judge, thank you. I echo the same sentiments that Magistrate Dye, thanking the folks that worked on the zoning changes that we made. Nice, healthy discussion, and I appreciate that. Want to make a comment again as we're sitting here in fiscal court. I don't know how many people could hear the thunder and lightning that was happening, or didn't see the lightning, but I could hear the thunder. Just ask people that they take the time to sign up for the Smart 911. It's a very useful tool to us. You'll get weather alerts, you'll get traffic alerts, and other important pieces of information sent out to you. And you can do it either by text, by email, or by telephone, or by all those options if you so wish. It truly takes about 5 or 7 minutes to get your profile set up with the Smart 911 service. Thank you.
All right, the Measure Greenwell.
Thank you, Judge. I had so many things to talk about, but that'll wait. But anyway, school starts on August the 14th, a week from tomorrow. So the big yellow limousines will be out in force, so be careful.
All right, were you a Monarch or somebody else's fan?
I lived in Battlesville and didn't know those things existed.
You didn't have barn dances?
Didn't get out of Ballersville.
Tough now, I'll tell you.
All right. Well, Measure Harrison,
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
defender of the Monarchs here,
Two notes, and all of them concern bridges in District 3. I'm pleased to announce that the bridge over 18 Mile Creek is open. It was open on schedule. Officially on August 1st, we had a ribbon cutting attended by some 50-plus residents on July 31st, so everybody's happy. And now we're going to announce closing another bridge. This one is on 1488 Oregon Creek Road, and it's the one nearest Highway 42 before you get to the intersection with Pattons Creek Road. It'll close down on September 16th, schedule of 60 days on it. It's a state project, it's not a county project, but I'll still take your phone calls.
And the 524 bridge from 42 to Westport is open, but we have had a couple of comments about rough approaches on from both directions, and the state highway department's looking into that. That's something that the contractor should have finished, but maybe didn't get it perfect, but they'll get it, so.
My question to the critics, is it drivable?
Well, yeah, I think it's drivable. I
It
mean,
is.
I was just told it was rough, so I referred that on to the KYTC, so they'll look into it. All right, Magistrate Tice.
Have nothing today. Thank you.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Magistrate Likens.
Nothing, Judge, thank you.
All right, well, that's going to wind it up. I don't really have anything of significance to say, other than the fact we've been here for 4 hours and 15 minutes. Most meetings aren't this long. If anyone actually started watching this on television and stayed with us for 4 hours and 15 minutes, I congratulate you on your patience and stick-to-itiveness. So, is there a motion to adjourn? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you.